Hello everyone and welcome to my next video in my Mario Fest series. This is Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, or the SNES as some people like to call it. This again represented a bit of a quantum leap for the series. It was the flagship Mario game when the Super Nintendo was launched. And, you know, Nintendo wanted to use it as a showcase for what the Super NES could do. And they really did pull it off with this. This is a tremendous game. It's a little bit easier than Super Mario Bros. 3 in my opinion. And I think it's primarily down to the fact that there's so much more stuff Mario can do in this. And also I just think that the level layout as well is a bit more friendly. I think that, personally, I think maybe Nintendo went a little bit over the top with Super Mario Bros. 3. I think it was widely regarded as being perhaps just a tad bit too difficult. That's probably a massive understatement. It was ridiculously difficult. But, I mean, Super Mario World has a lot of challenges to it. But I just think overall it tends to be a little bit more forgiving. Although it's difficult, I never really feel in the game that I'm about to get mullered from all angles by about 6,000 enemies. And there's a huge variety in this as well. I mean, what they started out with Super Mario Bros. 3, they really built upon with this one, and I absolutely love this game. Again, I mean, I didn't own a Super Nintendo back in the day, so you know, by the time the Super Nintendo came out, I already owned a Sega Mega Drive. But I do remember being exceptionally impressed with how this game looked, and I did actually want to get a Super Nintendo. I just couldn't afford it at the time. As I say, I already owned a Sega Mega Drive. I didn't want to get rid of the Mega Drive either, because I had a lot of games that I enjoyed on that. And at the time, this sort of went up against Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, this Mario was Nintendo's main mascot and Sonic had become Sega's main mascot, so they were always being compared to one another. And, you know, Nintendo fanboys would say that, you know, oh, Sonic's rubbish, and you know, Sega fanboys would say, oh, Mario's rubbish. In truth, both are way wide of the mark, because both are absolutely phenomenal games. And, you know, there's no two ways about it. If you love video games, then you have to acknowledge that both are exceptionally good games in their own right. You know, you can't turn around and say that Mario's rubbish or Sonic's rubbish, because they're both very good game series in their own rights. Although I think what would be fair to say is that Sonic has definitely fared less well going into the next generation of games than Mario. Mario certainly has fared a lot better, and I think it's down to the fact that Mario certainly has a lot more strings in his bow than Sonic. Sonic was built purely on speed. Mario was built more on intricate platforming, and so it's fair to say that it's actually been easier to take the Mario experience and make it into a new generation. Whereas Sonic, really, if you take away the speed element, there wasn't really a lot left to the game. You know, there was tricky platform elements, but how many times can you do the same trick? Whereas with Mario, there was all, you know, each of the Mario games had a different feel to them. There was different tricks to them, and you know, you look at the fact that although it's essentially still a platform game, this is a million miles away in terms of gameplay from the original Super Mario Bros., which in terms was a million miles away from the gameplay of Mario Brothers. And so there's always been a very clear evolution there with the series, and that's something I don't think Sonic has had. Sonic has always had to go back to the lightning fast roots of the original Mega Drive game, where Mario has always been able to explore different elements. Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Sunshine, you know, they don't bear any resemblance at all in any way, shape or form to the original Mario Brothers concept. So, you know, they do fare a lot better, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean to say that Sonic, you know, in its original incarnation wasn't, you know, very, very good in its own right. It just, I don't think it's fared as well going forward. But yeah, this is well worth checking out. It is an exceptional Mario game. There's so much variety in the levels, as you can see from the video footage. There's a great challenge there. It's tough, but I don't think it's... I wouldn't say it was fair to say that it was overly difficult. It's certainly not as punishingly difficult as Super Mario Brothers 3 was. But, you know, it's difficult. It's a gorgeous game to look at. The level of detail is fantastic. It is supremely playable. And it's just a classic Super Mario Brothers game. And if you're a fan of platform games, or even a fan of Mario, but you've only come across Mario in recent generations, such as, you know, the Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube or Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii, and want to experience a Mario game, then this is well worth checking out. This is a really good place to start, in my opinion. And it's got Yoshi in it, so therefore it becomes automatically brilliant, even though my gameplay isn't. Thank you for watching.